Hello everyone, welcome in the next lecture of matrix algebra. Okay, so in the previous lecture we are going to discuss the algorithm for finding the inverse of a matrix. Okay, and also we solve examples on that. That is, we find the inverse of a matrix. Okay, by using that algorithm. Then in today's lecture we have to discuss the characterization of invertible matrices. Okay, so for that we have to see this important theorem. Okay, and we write the statement of this theorem and we have to also prove this theorem. Okay, so first to see what is the theorem. Okay, so see here, the theorem gives the characterization of invertible matrices. Okay, so the statement of this theorem is, let capital A be a square n cross n matrix, then the following statements are equivalent. That is, we have to given that here capital A be the n cross n square matrix which is of order n cross n. Okay, then statement first is capital A is an invertible matrix, then B is there is an n cross n matrix C such that C into A is equal to I, that is identity matrix. Then statement C will be the matrix equation Ax is equal to 0 has only the trivial solution, that is x is equal to 0. Okay, and the statement D is matrix capital A has n pivot positions. Okay, which is a new concept for you. Okay, then last one is capital A is a row equivalent to n cross n identity matrix, that is matrix A which is row equivalent to the n cross n identity matrix. Okay, so these are all the characteristics of the invertible matrices. Okay, that is, if the given matrix is a invertible matrix, then these statements are all equivalent. Okay, here we have to prove that A implies B, B implies C, C implies D and D implies E, which are all equivalent. That is, we have to prove this statement in this way: A if and only if B, if and only if C, if and only if D, if and only if E. Okay, so we have to prove this statement in this sequence. Okay, for that, first to prove, if we prove this by in this way, that is A implies B, that is here we consider statement A and from that we prove B. Okay, then we consider B and from that we show the C. Okay, then we consider the statement given as C and from that we show the statement D. Okay, then we consider the statement D as a given and from that we see the statement, show the statement E. Okay, then in last if we consider the statement E and from that if we show the statement A, then we have to get these are all equivalent. Okay, A implies B, B implies C, C implies D, D implies A, and if we show E implies A, then we have to get this, that is all are the equivalent statement. So we use this prove these all are the equivalent. Okay, so here we have to given that A be the square. First A, first we write the given A be a square, A be a square n cross n matrix, that is the given. Okay, then to prove first A implies B, that is here we consider A statement consider capital A is an invertible matrix. A is an invertible matrix. Okay, and from that we can show the B statement, that is we have to prove that there is an n cross n matrix C such that C into A is equal to I. Okay, here we consider A is an invertible matrix. Okay, then we know that the definition of invertible matrix, given matrix A is an invertible matrix, that is by definition, that is or using by definition, A inverse exists and by using definition A inverse exists and there exists a matrix C such that C is equal to A inverse C into A is equal to A into C is equal to, we get the identity matrix. Okay. So here we have to get A implies B directly from the definition of invertible matrix. That is, we have to given that here A be the square n cross n invertible matrix, then there exists a matrix C of also order n cross n such that we have to get this statement C into A is equal to A into C is equal to I, that is the identity matrix. Okay, so in this way we can prove A implies B. Then second, to prove, this is the first, okay, then second we have to prove B implies C. Okay, so B statement is there is an n cross n, there is an n cross n matrix C such that we consider this statement such that C into A is equal to I, and from that to show that, okay, so we consider here this will be given, and to show C statement, okay, then to show C, that is we have to show that the matrix equation Ax is equal to 0 has only the trivial solution. To show C, that is matrix equation, or we can write here directly the equation, matrix equation, that is X is equal to 0 has a trivial solution. Okay, trivial solution, that means the given equation has only 0, X is equal to 0 is a solution, that is X is equal to 0 is a solution. We want to prove that. Okay, so we consider equation, so we consider the equation Ax is equal to, multiply both side by, then multiply both sides by C to get, we write here CAX is equal to C into 0, that is 0 matrix. Okay, so by using the associative law for matrix multiplication, we write this as CA into X is equal to, we get 0 into any matrix we have to get 0 by associative law. Okay, so and here we have to given that there is an n cross n matrix C such that C into A is equal to I. Okay, so C into A will be I, so we write here I into, we have to get X is equal to 0 from given. Okay, C into A is equal to I. Okay, so we have to get I into X, and we know that identity matrix into any matrix we get is equal to itself matrix, so Ix we get X is equal to 0. So we have to get here X is equal to 0, that is trivial solution. Okay, so equation number equation X is equal to 0, matrix equation X is equal to 0 has a trivial solution. We have to get value of X will be equal to 0. Okay, that is to prove B implies C. So we have to get in this way B implies C. Then next we have to prove that the C implies D. Okay, so here we consider the statement C, and from that we have to show that the statement D. Okay, so third we can prove C implies D. Okay, so here we consider matrix equation. X is equal to 0 has a trivial solution. Matrix equation X is equal to 0 has a trivial solution. Okay, and from that we want to prove that matrix A has n pivot position. So see here, this is the new concept, pivot position. Okay, so what is mean by the pivot position? here we want to prove that the matrix A has n pivot position. Okay, so in the second chapter we want to discuss in detail what is the pivot position. Okay, so here we can only see the definition of pivot position. So pivot position means, we write here this definition. Pivot position, that is first non-zero entry in row echelon form. First non-zero entry in row echelon form of matrix. Okay, first non-zero entry in row echelon in row echelon form of a matrix. Okay, that is, if we convert the given matrix to the row echelon form, that is, we reduce that matrix in each row for the first non-zero entry, which is the pivot position. So here we want to prove that the matrix A has n pivot position. That means each row is a non-zero row and each non-zero row contains the n pivot positions. Okay, sorry, all the non-zero rows contains the n pivot position. Okay, so from that, for that we have to use this statement: Ax is equal to 0 has a trivial solution. So Ax is equal to 0 has a trivial solution, x is equal to 0 has a trivial solution that is x is equal to 0. Okay, x is equal to 0, which is the trivial solution, that is A is invertible, that is matrix A is invertible, that is A inverse exists, and that means determinant of A is not equal to 0. And if determinant of A is not equal to 0, that means all diagonal entries are non-zero. That is, we can write the matrix is in this form, all the diagonal entries are non-zero. That means A matrix is in this form. Okay, A11, then A12 up to A1n. Okay, then 0 up to 0, A22 up to A2n. Okay, so in this way, and last we have to get here ANN. Okay, so matrix A is in this form, that is all the diagonal entries are non-zero. That means in each row contains first non-zero entry, which is the diagonal entry. Okay, so in each row contains first non-zero entry is the diagonal entry, that is matrix A has n pivot positions. Okay, matrix A has n pivot position. All the diagonal entries are non-zero, that means which are the pivot position, and here matrix is of order n, so we have to get the n pivot positions. Okay, so in this way we show the C implies D, that is equation has a matrix equation has a trivial solution, has only the trivial solution, then matrix A has n pivot position. Then from that, next to prove that D implies E. Okay, which is the 4. Okay, then 4 we have to prove that D implies E. Okay, that is matrix A has, if matrix A has n pivot position, if matrix A has n pivot positions, if matrix A has n pivot position, then from that we have to show that A is row equivalent to n cross n identity matrix. Okay, so here A has n pivot position, that is A has n diagonal entries. A has n diagonal entries. n non-zero, here word will be important, that is non-zero, n non-zero diagonal entries. Okay, and if A has n non-zero diagonal entries, then we can easily convert or the augmented form AI to IA inverse. Okay, because A has the matrix A is in this form. If matrix A is in this form, then we have to make only these diagonal entries as a 1, and using that 1 we have to make the above element of that entries will be 0. That is, we can easily convert AI to IA inverse. That is, A is row equivalent to, that is A is row equivalent to IN, that is n cross n identity matrix. Okay, so in this way we can prove, that is matrix A has n pivot position. If A has n pivot position, that is A has n non-zero diagonal entries, then we can easily convert AI to IA inverse, that is A is row equivalent to IN, that is identity matrix. And then last we have to prove that the E implies A. Okay, so here we want to given that A is a row equivalent to n cross n identity matrix, that is A is row equivalent to n cross n identity matrix. Okay, and in previous lecture we see the theorem A is an n cross n matrix is invertible if and only if A is a row equivalent to identity matrix. So using that theorem, here A is row equivalent to the n cross n matrix, that is AI is, we can using row reduction, AI can be converted to IA inverse, that is A is invertible, A is invertible matrix, and that is the statement A. Okay, so in this way we prove E implies A, or here we can use directly this theorem, that is we see in previous lecture, that is A is an n cross n invertible matrix if and only is an n cross n invertible matrix if and only if A is row equivalent to the n cross n identity matrix. Using that theorem we can directly prove E implies A. Okay, so in this way we can prove A implies B, B implies C, C implies D, D implies E, and last to prove E implies A. So we have to get these, all the statements are equivalent. Okay, so using this characterization we have to solve some examples. Okay, so we see some examples on that. So I write here examples. Okay, so first example is, does A, that is we have to given the matrix is invertible. Okay, so here we have to check that either the given matrix is invertible or not. Here the matrix is of order the 3 cross 3. Okay, so here if we want to check the matrix is invertible or not, if we use either the method, that is if we find the determinant of that matrix, if determinant is non-zero then we say that invertible, and if 0 then we say that not invertible. Okay, we can use that method also, but here we have to use this characterization, that is we have to use this statement to check that the inverse, that matrix is invertible or not. Okay, so first example number first, here a matrix will be given that whose first row will be 2 3 4 entries, that is the 3 rows are same, that is we have to given that. Okay, so here we use this statement, that is A implies D. Here we use the A if and only if D, that is matrix A has n pivot position, then matrix A is an invertible matrix. Okay, or we can use these also, A is a row equivalent to n cross n identity matrix. If we convert given matrix A to the identity matrix, then we also say that given matrix is a invertible, but for that we want to apply the row reduction method. So here A matrix will be this, Then here if we apply the row operation, that is R2 minus R1 and R3 minus R1. Okay, so A matrix will be converted into, first row will be as it is 2, 3, 4, then R2 minus R1. This will be the same row, so we have to get here second row will be 0, 0, and similarly third row will be 0, 0, 0. Okay, so here if we count the number of pivot position, that is here the number of non-zero diagonal entries. Number of pivot position, that is consider the number of non-zero diagonal entries in n cross n matrix. Okay, so here the number of non-zero diagonal entry will be only 1, that is number of pivot position, number of pivot position is 1. Okay, and here the statement is that if the matrix A has n pivot positions, then matrix A is an invertible matrix. A is of order n cross n. If A matrix is of order n cross n and if A has n pivot position, then A is invertible. Okay, so here our matrix is of order 3 cross 3, and here we have to get the number of pivot position for matrix A is only 1, not equal to 3. So number of pivot position is 1, not equal to the 3. If we have to get here 3 pivot position, then we say that using this A matrix is invertible, but here number of pivot position we want to get is 1, that is not equal to 3. So using A equivalent to D, we can say that A is not invertible. A is not invertible. Okay, we know that the logical statement, that is we use the logical statement in this way: if P implies Q, if and only if negation of Q implies negation of P. Okay, here we use these logical equivalence, that is here we consider the matrix matrix A has not n pivot position, that is we consider its negation, and then from that negation P will be A is not an invertible matrix. Okay, P statement we consider this A and Q statement we consider D, and here we use the logical equivalence: negation Q implies negation P, that is negation of D implies negation of A. So here we want to get the one pivot position which is not the 3, that is the order of the matrix. So this matrix is not invertible. Using in this way, that is the characterization of invertible matrix. Okay. Then next, second example using characterization. Determine which of the following matrices are invertible. Okay. So see here, first matrix A. Here if we consider first A matrix is of order 2 cross 2. Whose entries are 5, 7, minus 3, 6. Okay. So here 2 by 2 matrix. So we use here method of inverse determinant. That is here we find the determinant of this matrix. Here determinant of A is equal to, we get minus 5 into 6 will be minus 30. Minus minus becomes plus 21. That is we want to get here minus 9, and which is not equal to 0. So by using theorem, A is not equal to 0. So A is invertible matrix. So A is invertible matrix. Okay. So if we have to give one in example the 2 by 2 matrix, then use the determinant method. That is find that determinant. If determinant is non-zero, then we say that it is invertible. Okay. Then we see the matrix B. Okay. So B matrix is again of the order 3 cross 3. It's 5, 3, 1 entries, minus 0, minus 3, 7 and 0, 0, 1. And again we use here the A if and only if D statement. So using A if and only if D, that is characterization. Okay. So here we count the number of pivot positions, that is number of non-zero diagonal entries of the matrix of the 3 by 3. So here number of pivot positions are 3. Okay. these and these are the 3 pivot position, that is number of non-zero diagonal entries. So here number of non-zero diagonal entries are 3. These all the diagonal entries are non-zero, which are the number of pivot position. So which is equal to 3, and that is equal to the order of the matrix, that is 3. That is equal to 3. That is order of matrix. Order of matrix. Okay. So using A implies using D implies A is invertible. A is invertible matrix. Okay, so in this way we use the characterization of invertible matrix for checking the given matrix is invertible or non-invertible. Okay, so in this way. Then here we see the last example, that is the last matrix C. Here we write the matrix C. C matrix whose entries are 4, 0, -7, -6, 1, 11, 9, then 7, -5, 10, 19, -1, 2, 3 and -1. Okay, so if we observe this matrix, which is the of order 4 cross 4. So we want to again use the A implies D implies A. Okay, that is A if and only if D these statements. Okay, only if D statement, that is we want to count the number of pivot positions again. Okay, but for counting the number of pivot position, first we want to reduce this matrix to the row echelon form. That is we want to convert this matrix into the, here is matrix is of order 4 cross 4, that is square matrix. That is we want to convert this matrix into the upper triangular form. So if we convert this matrix, so after row reduction, the matrix A we can write here directly. Okay, so after row reduction, that is if we apply the row operation, then we want to get the matrix is in this form. Okay, then here if we count the number of pivot position, that is we write here the number of pivot positions in this row echelon form, which are here 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, so we want to get here number of pivot position will be equal to 4, and that is equal to the order of matrix. Okay, so using A if and only if D, that is D implies A. C is a invertible matrix. Okay, C is a invertible matrix. Okay, number of pivot position, that is the number of non-zero diagonal entries in n cross n matrix, n cross n upper triangular or lower triangular matrix. Okay, and in number of pivot position, that is number of non-zero entries in each row in row echelon form. Okay, so we have to get here 4 pivot position, and that is the order of the matrix. So the given matrix is invertible by using the characterization, that is the statement D implies A. Okay, so in this way we can check the given matrices are either invertible or not invertible. Okay, using this statement, matrix A has n pivot position, then which is the invertible matrix. In this way we easily. Okay, so here our first chapter is completed. This is the last topic of our first chapter or first unit. Then in next lecture we see the second unit. Okay, then today we will stop here. Thank you.